Welcome back to Homestead Heart. And in today's video, we're going to have a serious discussion, something that I've been contemplating for many weeks now, and finally decided that I would go ahead and have the conversation. In part because I get a lot of questions more often than not about how we get all of this done here on our homestead, because so many of you struggle with trying to get it all done. And a lot of you are struggling with anxiety issues because it's causing anxiety when you think about the amount of work that you have to do on your homestead and trying to get it done. And some of you are homesteading alone, and that makes it hard, right? Because you're trying to do it all by yourself. And that starts to cause issues within, right? And so for me, to get those questions, I thought that I would share something with you all. When we first moved to this homestead, we had so much work to do here. The level of work we had to do was just unbelievable. But we managed, by the grace of God, to get so much done with hand tools only. No heavy machinery and all of that. We literally cleaned this place up, and it was in bad shape. We cleaned this place up by hand. But I remember looking at that, and all I could see was the vision. Not what was in front of me, but what I saw in the future, right? And that gave me so much joy, and it gave me so much peace because we were working towards something, right? Full of energy and all of that, just ready to tackle it and get it taken care of. But over time, that started to change, and I noticed that. I realized that over time, I noticed that I'm starting to look out over the homestead. And every time I look out now, I see all of the work that has to be done instead of how far we've come. And sometimes I have to go back and watch a lot of the older videos to really appreciate the hard work and effort that we've put into building our homestead. And then trying to understand that building our homestead is not done in a day, but it is done daily, right? It's a daily work. And also somewhere in this process, all of the work started to impact me mentally and emotionally. Every single day, I would get up and start my day with, well, not every day, but most days I would get up, start my day with prayer and study. After that, I would have a cup of coffee or so. And then at first light, it seemed like bright and early in the morning, outside to take care of the animals and whatever else needed to be taken care of outside. Some days I would only plan to be outside a couple of hours, and then before I know it, it's getting dark outside, and I'm still outside. I didn't plan for dinner, so now I'm scrambling to get in and get dinner done. That's causing anxiety because time has gotten away from me. I can't tell you how many times that's happened. And then things that I wanted to do inside. I didn't get that done for the day because I was spending so much time outside. That also causes a disturbance on the inside of your body and your mind. It causes a disturbance because you're looking at everything that you need to do out there, but you're forgetting about what needs to be done in here. And that caused a disturbance, a dis-ease in the mind. So now I'm disrupted. I'm struggling to find balance somewhere. And as the years went on, that literally started to wear me down until one day I had the worst panic attack ever. My chest was hurting so bad. And I thought that I needed to go to the emergency room. I felt really bad. I'm like, what is this happening here? And is something wrong with my heart? But I had a severe panic attack and there was nothing wrong with me at the moment. I don't know what I think I was just sitting down with Mr. H and we were having a conversation. There was nothing that sparked it or anything. It just happened out of the blue. And, excuse me, and once I started to settle down, Mr. H kept saying, you need to go to the doctor. You need to go to the doctor. And I'm like, no, I don't think I need to go to the doctor. But at the same time, I'm gripping my chest. And I couldn't figure out what was happening. After about 20 minutes or so, I started to calm down. And I said to him, I remember saying to Mr. H, maybe I need to lay off the caffeine. Maybe I'm drinking too much coffee, because I would drink a cup of coffee every single morning, sometimes two. And I said, maybe I'm drinking way too much coffee and I just need to lay off the coffee, because the more coffee I drink, the less water I drink. So I felt like maybe that was my issue. So I got away from coffee maybe for about 3 or 4 months or so. I just stopped cold turkey, no coffee, right? No caffeine withdrawals or any of that, because I would do that from time to time. I would just let go of the coffee and that would be that, until one day it'll hit me and I'll want a cup of coffee. So I thought that was my issue. So I stopped having coffee every day and start drinking more tea and water. And I didn't have another panic attack. But one day I stepped outside and I started to look around the homestead. And when I started to look around our homestead, I started to feel that feeling again. I started getting extremely anxious and I started having that tight feeling all over again. It wasn't as severe because I recognized it right away. And I just sat down and started practicing just breathing and just calming myself down. And I literally had to sit down and have a talk with my mental self to figure out what is going on here. And I realized that no longer did I look out and see what I once saw when I look out over the homestead. It had gotten to a point that when I looked out over the homestead, all I saw was all of the work that needed to be done. And if work didn't get completed the day before, then now the work has just compounded. And I just feel like the work just kept compounding and compounding because we were never able to get it all done. And I realized I was looking at it that way. And it started to affect me mentally. I'm outside taking care of everything outside, but I wasn't even taking care of me. I would take care of animals first and not me. What kind of sense does that make? Well, the animals can't take care of themselves. They depend on you. So do your children. But there are days when you've worked all week and it's the weekend and you sleep in, and your children may not get breakfast at 7:30. They may get breakfast at 9. After you wake up and say, okay, I'm ready to get up and get breakfast for you now. I needed to get some rest. I was exhausted. I had to get some sleep. And you sleep in. Your children are not suffering because they didn't get breakfast at 7:30. They're not suffering because you were an hour and a half late getting them breakfast. How many times did I do that? Raising 5 children, being tired some days when they were really young until they got old enough to kind of fend for themselves. Once my oldest children were able to get up and fix eggs and toast, I mean, you didn't need me. But in my mind, I don't know why I thought that my animals would suffer if I wasn't outside at the crack of dawn to feed them. They have water because they have a waterer inside of their coops and pens, and they have one on the outside. They have 2 waterers, so they're never without water. So if they were inside for an extra 2 hours, why did that give me so much anxiety? I'm doing laundry and it's draining out, and you can hear it because the line it's an old house. Okay. I'll just say it that way. It's an old house. But anyway, why did I think they were going to suffer if I wasn't outside bright and early in the morning to give them some chicken pellets? Why did I feel like that? Why did I feel like I had to do that? And some of you feel like that because you see other people do it. Some of you feel like, oh, I got to be outside at 8 a.m. because every other homesteader is outside at 8 a.m. or every other homesteader is outside before dawn to feed their animals. So that's what I have to do too. And we put that pressure on ourselves when that couldn't be furthest from the truth. I've learned that I come first, because if I have a mental breakdown, they suffer greater than the 2 hours that I may be late going outside feeding. Well, it's not even late. If I'm not out there at 7, it's okay that I'm out there at 9. If I'm not out there at 9, it's okay that I'm out there at 9:30. I don't put that pressure on myself anymore because it was doing something to me here, right? It was causing me unnecessary stress. I'm putting unnecessary stress on myself because outside of gardening, outside of farm maintenance, outside of taking care of livestock, I still have a husband to take care of. I still have a home to take care of. I still have me to take care of. I still have family life that I have to be a part of outside of this, right? And so I was putting all of that unnecessary pressure on myself, and it was causing me to shut down because I would be so exhausted mentally, physically, that I couldn't even formulate the right thought to go outside and do anything. So really, we have to start prioritizing self first. In fact, that's the first order of things. Self first, then others. Right? Now, I'm not saying leave your animals all day long with no maintenance. No, that's not what I'm saying at all. And hopefully, those of you that are listening, you have enough common sense to know that that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying in the mornings now, for me, this is what it looks like for me. When I get up in the morning, I still have my prayer and my study time. I still make my coffee. And I sit down and I think for about my own needs for the day. What do I need to do for me today? What do I need to do for me so that I can be the best version of myself for my family and for our farm? What, and I know this may sound strange, but for me in the mornings, once I'm done with my devotion and prayer and all of that, and I go in and I start preparing to get dressed for the day, before I leave out of my bedroom, there are things that I have to do. In my bathroom, it's important to me that I do a 2-minute cleanup, a 2-minute maintenance, right? And that's just me spraying down my toilet and my sink and just wiping everything down real quick. I do that before I leave out of the bathroom. It only takes 2 minutes, you know? And doing it that way means that when it's time for me to deep clean my bathroom, I deep clean it once a week. And when it's time for me to deep clean my bathroom, well, now it doesn't take me that long to do that because I've been just kind of micro cleaning every single day before I leave out of the bathroom. I just take my cleaner, I spray my sink, I spray my toilet down inside of the toilet bowl, and I let it sit in that toilet for just a few seconds while I clean up my sink area. It's not dirty, but if I clean it every day, it'll never be dirty. It only takes a couple of minutes, right? Just a 2-minute maintenance, that's it. I realized that for me, laundry, I'm going to tell y'all something, and this is me just being honest with you. I hate folding clothes. I hate folding clothes and putting them away. The laundry part is not so bad, washing them and put them in the dryer. That's not so bad. But I hate folding clothes. And if I'm doing laundry, whatever laundry I'm doing, I don't want to do laundry that's going to take me longer than 5 minutes to fold the clothes. It's just how I feel. If it's going to take me longer than 5 minutes to fold these clothes and put them away, I really don't want to do that. So what I do is I do laundry 4 times a week in the washer, in the dryer. And when it comes out, literally 5 minutes, I've folded them up and I've put them away. I have to do things like this to help me to keep my mental sanity, right? I do little things like that, little micro things to help me be in a good state of mind. And I do that before I go outside in the morning. So Bud definitely does his job here on the homestead. I got to give him that. And I can't even be upset about it because he's doing his job, But doing things in a way that works for you on the homestead is going to be crucial to your mental health. Don't look at how everyone else is doing things. That's not healthy for you, okay? You have to do what will be beneficial to you, what will keep you enclosed in your right mind. Because too much stress on your brain is not healthy for you. It's not good for you. It's not healthy for you. And it won't be good for your family either. Because once you shut down or break down even, that's not going to be good for anyone. So you have to start thinking about you too. So I come in the morning and I make sure that I take care of the little things that I need to take care of around my home, no matter what that is. I do that first. I plan my meal. I already know what I'm going to have for the day, whatever I need to take out to cook. I'm taking that out. I'm doing everything that I have to do so that when I go outside to tend to the animals, I don't have it going on in the back of my head. Everything that I got to do in here. Or I get so caught up in my work outside that I forget the things that I needed to take care of in here. And then when I think about it, that's instant stress because you forgot to do something that possibly was very important and needed to be done. So you really have to prioritize you over everything else outside, right? You have to prioritize the family. The animals will be okay. The garden will be okay. Yeah, but I got to get out in that garden before it get too hot. I understand that. I work that in. But that's seasonal. That's not all year long. That's just during a few months in the summertime. So you can make adjustments for that, and those adjustments are to be expected. But that can't be your 365. That can't be what we do 365 days of the year. It's not healthy. So for me, I have made some adjustments. I take care of me first. And I take care of the things that I don't want to cause me stress and anxiety first. I get that out of the way. And the mental peace that I get from that is much better than me struggling and stressing to trying to get so much done here on our homestead. And that's going to even help me be better with creating content, because feeling so overwhelmed and so stressed, don't really have very much energy for content creation, unfortunately. If you remember when we first started, we were really working hard and we were taking you all along with us on so much, and we were sharing so much with you on our YouTube channel. But because of my mindset at the time, I was in a much better space mentally. I wasn't stressed. Like I said, I would look out and see the work, but I was excited of the, because of the journey. And somehow that got lost. And it just became more and more about all of the work that needed to be done. And what's different? It's the way that I see things. It's the way that I'm looking at my homestead now. So now I see the work instead of the vision. And maybe if I just start back focusing on the vision, this is what I'm telling myself. The vision, enjoying the journey, then I won't be so stressed. And so that's what I'm doing. And is it helping? It is really making a difference. It's really making a difference here. Everything we do on our homestead should be for the love of doing it. Not that it's just a job, but it has to be for the love of doing it. Not that I don't love my lifestyle. I love this lifestyle. I really do. I wouldn't want to have any other lifestyle. I love this lifestyle. But I needed to make those changes for the benefit of myself and my family. I had to do that. And in so doing, it has made me a much better person to be around. Because the frustration not only affects you, it starts to affect those that are around you, right? So now I get up and I enjoy my time with God, and I enjoy my time with myself, and I do my little maintenance here and there every single day. And once I do that, I'm up and I'm ready to go outside. And now I'm taking care of outside, and I can do so with peace and quiet of mind. And I'm not mentally stressed or exhausted anymore. When I get out there in the morning at 9:30, they're still there. They're still happy and healthy. They're still laying eggs. They're still they're still living their best lives, okay, in spite of me coming outside a couple hours later every morning, right? So you have to do what is going to be best for you and best for your mental state of mind. Don't try to keep up with the Joneses. Don't try to keep up with what everybody's doing. You know what I mean? Because they got a new John Deere tractor, you got to get a new John Deere tractor. They got a new this, you got to get a new this. They using all these kind of fertilizers, so you got to use all these kind of fertilizers. They got these animals, so you feel like you got to have these animals. They growing this kind of food, so you got to grow it. Their gardens are this size, so your garden needs to be this size. No, it does not work that way. Please take your time. Enjoy the journey. And don't forget the journey. Don't forget to enjoy the journey. Don't forget your goal, your vision. Calm down. Settle down. And just know that taking care of you first is okay. You don't have to feel guilty about taking care of you first. I did, because like I said, I was a mom of 5, and they always came first. And even when they became adults and I started just doing things for me, I started feeling guilty about that. Like, wait a minute, this feels weird. But no, you can't feel like that. It's okay to take care of you. And it's okay to take care of you first. Okay? This doesn't mean that your children are suffering. This doesn't mean that your animals are suffering. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying for your mental state of mind, if that's a 15-minute meditation, take that 15 minutes of meditation to take care of you. Okay? Mental health and homesteading. Mental health in anything. Your mental health is critical. Why is it so difficult nowadays? Because it's not just what you're dealing with on your homestead. You literally have the weight of everything that's going on in the world literally sitting right here on your shoulders because you haven't yet cut out the noise. Right? We stay glued to the TV. We're watching everything that goes on in the news and all over the world. Do you realize the level of anxiety you're causing yourself? Disconnect sometimes. It's okay to get out of social media for several days, even weeks even. It's okay to do that. It's okay. You got to take care of you. Your mental health is at stake. And if your mental health is good, then the health of the family will be great. If your mental health is not good, your family will notice and your family will be unhappy as well. So it's okay to take care of you first. And if you ask Mr. H, he'll tell you that me taking care of me first has been better for him. And it's been better for our farm. It's been better for our family. You have to take care of you. And that's okay. Mental health and homesteading. I hope it helps. I'll see y'all in the next video.